the question box. So if you have any, I see them right away. So let's start off. So web original storytelling. Why have we identified web original storytelling as a story type? It's for several reasons. One thing we've learned with our site and with station sites is that web original stories tend to have a higher degree of impact with our online audience. Certainly, as radio sites, we have a variety of content like audio, webified features, the intro and audio you can stream, and there's wire copy on many sites. But stories that are written specifically for the web tend to do best on the web. Like with your radio stories, you can identify stories that will do really well on air, whether it's because it's sound rich or you have a great talker. Online, there are certain attributes that let a story really sing online that tend to do really well with the online audience. So let's go over really quickly what we'll discuss today. Let me just make sure my cursor is good. Okay, so we'll talk about the definition of web original content, look at some story types, techniques to get to those kinds of stories, online voice, and distribution. And just so you know, I am going to cover a lot of material here, but it will all be available on the blog, either later today or tomorrow, but definitely this week. Okay, so let's talk about definition. What is web original content? Like I said, it's of the web. It's sourced from the web. It includes your own reporting. But most importantly, you're applying your editorial values. The editorial values you have on air, you want to apply online as well. I got a request for higher audio, so I'm going to, hopefully this works. You can hear me better. Okay, so we're talking about applying the same editorial values to the web. And we're not talking about radio scripts or webified radio scripts or newspaper articles being posted online. If you attended the features and spot session, you saw that the language is different, the structure is different. So that's why we make that differentiation of web original content, things that are not native to radio or originated from radio or another medium. And we talk about the online news cycle. I'll show you some numbers, some charts, just to see what this looks like, and also the frequency of online news delivery. A lot of station sites, a lot of sites just don't have enough content to keep a reader wanting to come back for more. I mean, it's one thing to get your news on Morning Edition and All Things Considered twice a day, but online, we spend a lot of time online, and we want that news posted throughout the day. So 10 to 15 news posts a day is a goal. A site like the Two Way has anywhere from 20 posts a day. Mark Memmott says he gets uncomfortable when it's been more than an hour since he's posted. So a lot of content is being produced. A station site like KQED's news blog, they are posting about 10 stories a day. So it's important to have a lot relevant, fresh content on your site as well. Let's talk about the news cycle. You may have seen this in past webinars, but just to remind you of the time of day that people are coming to your site, are generally going to news sites. You see it start out, so this is 6 in the morning. People are getting up, they're checking their news, they're seeing what's going on. And for this one, it peaks around 10 in the morning. This one a little bit earlier, this one a little bit later. But it's really in the middle of the day. This is your online drive time, the middle of the day. And then, but one thing that is consistent is the traffic starts to drop off later in the afternoon. And I bring this up because one thing we see with stations is that you do your radio story, you're filing your spot for Morning Edition, the next day's Morning Edition or that day's ATC, and then you post something online at the end of the day, when the online traffic is already going on. So I bring this up just to keep in mind that the news cycle for online content that you want to hit is right here. And when I talk about content frequency, I see a lot of sites where you see one story a day, at best maybe 2 stories in one day. And that's just not how we consume information. We're always checking online. We're seeing the latest. We want the news. We want it updated. And this is a site I would probably check in with once a week, because I don't think the content is there often enough for me to want to check once a day or twice a day. Because again, only updating once a day, or maybe at best twice a day. Here is a station, KUT in Austin, that has a strong content frequency. They're starting their stories at 8:30 in the morning, 8:29 a.m., when their online audience is looking. And these are the stories that they've posted in one day. I think there are about 10 here. And this is the story. These are the stories that they post between 8:29 and 5:08. So, you know, in a matter of a day, they've posted about 10 stories. And it's not just one person. Wells Dunbar runs this site now. It's not just him contributing all the content, but, you know, he's pulling in stories from the API, from Mark Memmott. And they have a content partnership with the Texas Tribune. So he has that ability to tap into other resources. So it's not just him doing all the reporting, but really just reaching out and getting that information, getting the news that he thinks that his audience will be most interested in, not just from KUT.